Horizon has always been the fun one in the Forza family. From gallivanting through the hills to drifting in between traffic, Horizon is more interested in creating those emergent moments than pure on-track accuracy.
How's that for scenery?
The latest entry in the series, Forza Horizon 4, continues in that vein, creating the best, most immersive open-world racer to date, despite a few missteps. The biggest change this time around is the introduction of seasons. After the first few hours, where you're quickly taken through spring, summer, fall, and winter, each week brings a new season to Horizon, and they're more than just window dressing, as they change the road conditions from grippy and dry in the summer to wet in the spring and winter, making grip harder to come by. With all due respect to fall and its foliage, my favorite has to be winter. The way the light reflects off the snow-covered hills in the morning is sublime. It's these little moments that add up to create the presentation that's second to none. Every corner of the world feels intentional. Not only does each new season bring a new version of the world to gawk at, but it brings new seasonal content as well. From races, both online and off, to championships, challenges, and even barn finds, there's always a new stream of content to keep veteran players coming back for more.
It's an Aston. A wee gem of an Aston.
Speaking of that world, it may look gorgeous, but there's no denying it's a bit more monochromatic than Horizon 3. Britain isn't known for its biome diversity, so coming from Australia with desert, rainforest, and beaches to play on can feel a bit underwhelming, despite how well realized it is. That said, one way that this map stands head and shoulders above the previous entries is how much more vertical it is. Those rolling green hills are everywhere. Whether you're drifting along the edge of a cliff or driving off-road, the vistas look amazing. And more importantly, you need to factor gravity into how your car handles more than ever. Momentum is important in the UK. And with as large a roster of cars as ever, including some enjoyably wacky additions, like semi-trailer trucks, there's no end to cars to learn and play with in Horizon. The driving in Horizon feels as good as ever, especially the drift scoring. It feels like they've perfectly dialed it in, rewarding fast, long, uncorrected drifts, while also giving out enough points to slower, less perfect lines to keep novices interested in pushing for more. We can and will spend hours perfecting our entries. The perk system has seen an overhaul this time around, but not necessarily for the better. Instead of offering point bonuses across all vehicles, the perks are unlocked on a car-by-car basis. This doesn't work well for a couple of reasons. First, it fights the freedom that a game like this creates. Forza Horizon is about driving whatever car you want, however you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. But a system that rewards leveling up individual cars goes in the opposite direction of that, encouraging players to find a few cars they like and use them exclusively. Second, the leveling system itself within the upgrade tree creates a tedious and boring meta. The first upgrade for each car is an influence boost, with the amount of boost based on the rarity of the car. While I understand why Playground Games did this to encourage players to look at each car's individual upgrade tree, it creates a situation where the best way to level up, especially early in the game, is to go through each car's tree one by one to just select the first upgrade. It's time consuming and boring, but considering how much experience you're leaving on the table if you don't do it, it feels like you almost have to. Of course, all this is optional, but it's perplexing why Playground Games would so drastically change a system that was working just fine in Horizon 3. One part of the progression mechanics that works really well is the individual levels and unlocks for each event type. There is so much to unlock and progress towards that it always feels like you're just one more race away from something cool. Oh yeah, and super wheel spins are awesome. There is a ludicrous, almost overwhelming amount of content in Horizon 4, and that isn't a bad thing. From drift zones to races to showcase events, there's always something fun and new to do. This time around, the bucket list challenges have been replaced by Horizon Stories, which have been split up into 4 groups. Drift Club tasks players with medium and high scores that drift through the UK. World's Fastest Rentals focuses on speed challenges. The Stunt Driver has players doing a variety of challenges, from medium to high score to jumping across rivers. And the streamer La Racer has players perform challenges based on classic racing games past. This last one is a nice touch since it allows us to go on a tour not only through our own nostalgia, but the games that influenced the developers who made Horizon.
Joyriding in Smuggler's Run? It was for exploring and jumping off things.
The drift zones are a bit of a mixed bag. The ones on pavement are generally fun, with a few real standouts, but when you get on the dirt, things get a bit sketchy. The dirt is so easy to get sideways in, I never felt like I was in control of the car like I did on the asphalt. They feel more like sliding with style than true drifting. That, combined with how surprisingly stringent the scoring line is, made them feel more like a chore than an enjoyable time going sideways. Forza Horizon 4 continues to set the bar so far above the competition that it really has no competition. Whether you're into drifting, drag, rally, or road racing, or just doing ludicrous things in cars, there is an insane amount of content available. The seasons add meaningful gameplay changes to keep the world dynamic and engaging, while also providing weekly content updates that provide players a reason to keep coming back. Despite the minor misstep of the car-specific progression system, this is not only the best Horizon game, but the downright best arcade racing game ever made. If you want to spend untold hours of your life unlocking, upgrading, and racing crazy amounts of cars in a beautifully realized world, Forza Horizon 4 is for you. We know we'll be spending our fair share of time in it for years.